expose some of the demonic forces in the Democrat Party, including some of the demonic influencers out there, like Hassan Piker, like Destiny, like, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and some of the demonic rhetoric. But I'm also here to criticize Trump a bit. Surprisingly for you guys, I guess. Well, I mean, I criticize him all the time, but I don't know, maybe it's surprising for you guys. But yeah, I'm still, a bit sick, but I'm getting over my cold. But hopefully you guys, enjoy this stream. Sit back, get your popcorn, hit that like and subscribe button. And yeah, enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. We'll wait for a couple people to get in here, and then we'll get going with everything I have to say. But all I'm gonna say is I like what Trump did at the United Nations. I like his speech and whatnot, but I do not agree with his rhetoric about Ukraine and some of the other stuff he said. And we'll get into exactly what he said recently and my thoughts and opinions on it, but I'm not a huge freaking fan of what he said. I'll just leave it at that for the moment. But yeah, we'll get into everything here in a minute. Waiting for a few people to get in here, and it'll be fantastic. Just smash that like and subscribe button. But I hope everyone out there is doing great today, etc., etc., etc. Hello, guys, welcome in. Yes, Trump is doing, I don't have to try to tell you that Trump is doing way better than Biden is. He is doing way better than Biden is. I mean, I've never even heard a Democrat argue against this. They all say, oh, well, I didn't like Biden. I mean, you didn't say that when, Biden was president the last 4 years. You didn't complain about him then. You didn't complain about Biden then. What's up, Kev? How you doing, brother? You didn't complain about Biden then, but now you want to say, oh, we weren't fans of Biden. None of the Democrats liked Biden. Well, why did you vote him in? I guess because you really didn't like Trump, huh? No, the inflation was the highest it's ever been in, the history of, maybe not the history of the country, but maybe in the last, 60, 70, 80, 100 years, inflation was the highest under President Joe Biden. And listen, guys, I wanted to do a debate tonight, but I'm just not feeling any of these, radical, right-wing left people that you really just can't even have a conversation with. But you know what? I'll try to have a conversation with some of them tomorrow. There's one guy I'm talking about in particular. I mean, he's the president of the United States. If he wants to make political talking points and give you news about the country at a memorial for a man that supported Trump for president and supported his political speeches, then that's perfectly fine. That was in reference to the Charlie Kirk situation at his memorial. I'm doing fine. Eggs are affordable now. Well, I got bad news for you. Even if you hate Trump, even if you want to sit on the internet all day crying about how he's president, nothing is going to change. 1980s is the last time it was higher. It's true inflation is ticking back up because of tariffs. No, I don't believe so. Inflation is pretty damn low compared to what it was under Biden, and it's going to get a lot better from here. Where is eggs $7 a dozen? It's $2.30 here. Not to mention all the statistical facts tells us that eggs were higher under Biden. Does anyone even know why the whole eggs thing came up? It's because Biden killed all the chickens because he said, oh, there's bird flu, and that's when egg prices started to spike. But you guys don't even know what the hell you're talking about, so you're not even gonna remember that situation. I mean, eggs might be $7 a dozen if you live in a liberal hellhole like California. But smash that like button, guys. It's Tuesday. If you have any questions, any comments, anything you want me to talk about, anything you want me to debate about, you can drop some super chats. But I'm going to mostly be talking about Hassan Piker. Now, I think it's funny. People try to silence me. People try to silence me. And they say, oh, your rhetoric is dangerous. Your rhetoric is violent. Your rhetoric is hateful. No, it's not. I'm about bringing people together. I have a new Bible group that I'm going to be doing in my Discord, and it's for all political parties, so I can try to bring people together. But people like Hassan Piker have called for political violence over and over and over again. They've called for murder of politicians. That's disgusting. Not only, should these people be locked up and arrested, they should be, not allowed to make these kind of messages. Like, how is that even allowed? How is that even legal? Hassan Piker is, a horrible human being. Hit that like and subscribe button, though. Hassan Piker has literally called for death and destruction. He's just like the rest of the Democrat Party. Do I think that he really means what he says? No, but he's getting paid millions of dollars to push hate, violence, and destruction of the country. It's disgusting. Hassan Piker is a terrible human being. He called for the death of Rick Scott. That is terrible. You should not do that to any politician. Hassan Piker is not a good person. He actively supports terrorist organizations like Hezbollah. Smash that like and subscribe button. Like and subscribe. If you guys have any questions, comments, anything you'd like to talk about, drop some super chats. There is one thing that I kind of disagree with Trump on that he recently did today. I mean, I agree with his, speech at, what was it called? I agree with his speech and whatnot, everything he's recently been saying. But you know what I do not agree with is some of the stuff that he's said about Ukraine. Everything that he said at the United Nations, I agree with. I do believe climate change is one of the biggest scams of the modern century. He said that at the United Nations. He's talked about that for about, 45 minutes. And he's, talked about many other things, but I just do not agree with his comment. He said, oh, maybe Ukraine can get their land back. Now Ukraine can get their land back. I don't think that's possible for, Ukraine to get their land back. I don't really think that's, possible since they lost, a quarter of their country. Unless, of course, we send our troops into there. And I hope Trump isn't planning to do that, because that would probably make me not support Trump anymore. And that would also be, extremely disgusting. And I wouldn't support that. How are they going to get their country back? How is Ukraine going to, fight and take back over the areas that Russia took over Ukraine? That's 20% of the country. I love Trump as well, but man, I just don't see it. How is Ukraine going to conquer the land that Russia took already? I mean, do I believe Russia is a paper tiger? Possibly, I don't know. But I don't agree with his entire statement about it. I don't think Ukraine will win. Now, I don't want to see, I want the war to end. I don't want to see any more people die, but I don't think Ukraine will win. They've lost 20% of their country already. 20%. No, if Trump sent our soldiers into Ukraine, I would 100% not justify it. Yeah, they lost over 1 million people in this war already. I know Ukraine will not win, but Trump just said today, he said, oh, Ukraine might win. Ukraine might win. Like, Trump, who's been in your ear, my guy? Who's been in your ear? Democrats are crying. But if you guys have any questions, comments, anything you want to talk about. I'm an open book. You just got to drop some super chats. So show your support for the channel. No, Trump was right about everything. Maybe he knows something I don't know, but I'm just giving my opinion. Trump is anti-war. I truly believe that. I got a lot of facts to present you guys today. I mean, Trump has ended 7 wars, so I don't know how you can say he's not anti-war. 7 wars. 7! 7 wars! Over the last 50 years, he's the only president that didn't start a new war. If you guys have any questions, comments, drop some super chats. The Democrats are angry as fuck tonight, boy. Oof, excuse my language, but it's true. There's no war in Venezuela going on right now, as far as I know. Let's get one thing here straight. I don't care if you're a radical leftist, just an anti-Trumper, a Democrat, you know, a centralist that hates the American government, an anarchist. You know, all these people are in the same book for me. All of these people are the same people that celebrated the death of an innocent Christian father, a man that has done nothing but good for this world, Charlie Kirk. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you guys. These are disgusting, demonic powers coming from within. You cannot tell me these people are not influenced some way by the devil himself. That's why it's called the Demon Rat Party. The Demon Rats. Everyone knows that they're the Demon Rats. There's, you know, MAGA, there's Republicans, and then there's the Demon Rat Party. But let's get to 50 likes, guys. Wake up, America. This is no longer about, you know, politics. This is about good versus evil. Even if Trump isn't right about everything, even if Trump did make mistakes, at least we're not the party of killing unborn babies. At least we're not the party of warmongering and destruction. At least we're not the party that encourages 11-year-olds to chop their penises off. All these shits that they're pushing is straight fucking evil. How can you say it's not? How can you say that the Democrat Party is an evil when you look at the type of shit that they do and push? It's ridiculous. It is fucking ridiculous. This is not rage bait. I'm not gonna sit here and keep telling you it's not rage bait just because you're crying your eyes out over a banner and a Trump hat and some Trump hats and a Trump mugshot. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you, oh, it's not rage bait, because it's not rage bait, and I don't have to keep on telling you that. This is just a common sense American. Most of America is just like me. We want America first. We want to stop funding all these other countries. We want to stop funding all these other countries. Trump, USA. If you like Nick Fuentes, this probably isn't the channel for you. Please educate me. Why does Argentina need us to bail them out? I see a lot of comments flooding in. Just to clarify, we get thousands of comments per live stream, so I'm gonna stay on topic. I'm gonna stay on point on this live stream. If there's anything you want me to talk about, once again, any questions, any comments, I'm sure you see what's pinned right below. Drop super chats and everything will be answered, discussed, and talked about. And I would love to debate any of you guys, especially, if you're not gonna ad hominem, if you can act like a gentleman or a proper lady, then yes, we can debate. Just join my Discord, link in the bio. Not to mention, I'm trying to, bring the country together. I'm starting a Bible study group for all political parties. That way we can come together in one Discord. We can do, video calls. I'm not sure what day of the week it's gonna be, but we can all do video calls a certain day of the week and we can come together. We can put politics aside and we can, talk about some Bible verses and, elaborate on some Bible studies. Like I said, I know there's a lot of demonic Democrats in chat and they're all fuming with rage and hate. I wonder why. It's because I called their party demonic. If you want to prove me wrong that your party isn't demonic, all you gotta do is be a gentle, kind human being. It's not that hard. Otherwise, you can keep fuming with demonic rage. Just like your heroes, Destiny, Hassan Piker, they are all demons. People on, CNN, ABC, all these people that celebrated Charlie Kirk's death, demons. Excuse me, demons. Not all Democrats are demonic, just the majority of them. And sometimes they don't even realize that the devil is taking over. Yes, I've heard of that before. If you look up the Hassan Piker, this is probably not the channel for you. Because we don't support radical, violent influencers that support terrorist groups. We don't support that here. Spam the like button, spam the like button, spam the like button. I'm seeing a lot of the same questions, but I'm still not open to answering anything unless you guys want to drop super chats, because I have things I want to talk about and discuss. They are truly demonic. They want his kids unalived. Dude, there is already more and more threats against Charlie Kirk's family, dude. There is already more and more threats against them. They are demonic. I know some good Democrats out there. I have Democrat friends and family. But sometimes they slip up and it's like the devil is talking from their soul. It doesn't matter how much evidence you show them on a specific subject. If you talk to them about, Tylenol and you show them all these Harvard studies and all these, studies from the White House and all these big institutions and all these, medical institutions and all these university institutions, they don't care about any of that. All they care about is what their favorite CNN doctor said. Their favorite CNN doctor said not to believe anything Trump or RFK said, even if the FDA, the same people that told them to get their vaccines and that they're 100% effective, even if those same people, say something about Tylenol, they'll say, oh no, these aren't the same people. These aren't the same people. These people don't know what they're talking about. It's a mistake. They can be the same freaking people. What Harvard study? Do you claim Christ if you support parties? Yeah, you can support a party and not worship them. Very simple. Despite what you people think, just because I have this and just because I have these hats, does not mean that I worship any politician. To be fully honest with you, I don't trust the government, but I also have two sets of eyes. It's not hard to say which party is better than what party. It's not difficult. There's a good party that's, fighting against demonic activity. Sorry, what'd you say? Do you claim Christ if you don't support parties? Yes, you can claim Christ if you're apolitical, of course. You can claim Christ if you're a Democrat as well. I have plenty of Christian friends that are Democrats, but sometimes does the devil slip out of their soul, and does their ego and their politics and some of the truly disgusting rhetoric they say, pop out of them sometimes because of their, influence with the demonic Democrat Party? Yeah, it does. Yeah, some of the Democrats are demonic, and I am still trying to bring people together. That's exactly why I'm doing the Bible study group to try to bring people together. But a lot of the Democrats don't believe in Christianity. Not all Democrats are demonic. Not all of them. This is not satire. Patrick, are you a Democrat? Is that why you're getting upset? Like I said, not all Democrats are demonic. I don't know how much more clear I have to make it for you. Sorry, but you shouldn't claim Christ. Support them. I have no clue what that means, but if you're telling me I shouldn't claim Jesus Christ, then that kind of sounds demonic. That kind of sounds demonic. Not sure what you mean, Brandon, but that sounds kind of demonic. Sorry, but you shouldn't claim Christ. Yeah, I will continue to claim Christ. Support them? Who is them? Who else am I going to support other than Jesus Christ? Who else am I going to support other than Jesus Christ and our Lord and Savior? That is a demonic comment. That sounds like a comment from the demon rats themselves. They're trying to get me. They're trying to get all of us. They're trying to get all of our souls, guys. We can't let them. We can't let them win. The Bible says we got to fight against evil. And this is pure evil. The demon rats are telling me not to follow Jesus Christ. That's literally what they're saying. It's scary. It is scary. I can't chill. They're trying to take over the world. They're trying to push globalists to destroy religion and make us all eat bugs. It's the demon rat party. It's scary. It is freaking scary. Smash that like button. Like, I don't know what else to say when they're telling us not to follow Jesus and they're telling us not to follow Christianity. What else do you call it if it's not demonic? Praise the Lord. America's coming together. Absolutely. They killed Charlie Kirk, and they're saying, I'm gonna be next. These are demon rats. They are demons. They'll hide under all kinds of different things. They'll say, I'm not a Democrat, I'm just a radical leftist. Okay, why don't you just tell me you're a demon and you want to push globalist and you want to make us eat bugs? Why don't you just tell me that? And why don't you just tell me that you want the rich elite to eat the baby fetuses and suck out their blood while you kill these babies with millions of abortions? Why don't you just tell the truth of what your real agenda is? Why don't you just tell us the truth of what your real agenda is? Don't hide behind a moniker of acceptance and loving and care and then kill people for what they say. That is demonic. No demonic shit in these comment sections. If you put that number, you're getting kicked out. I'm sorry, YouTube bugging. I meant if you support political parties, you should claim Christ. He tells us not to support political parties. What Bible verse is that? What Bible verse is that? This seems like Democrat activities. The Bible tells us to follow the law of the land. And that means we should not allow illegal immigration in our country. We should not let the United Nations push illegal immigration onto us. There is nothing more demonic than abortion. It is the demon. It is the demons. It is the damn demons. It is the demons coming out. This guy doesn't even have a Bible verse for what he's saying. Brandon, why don't you have a Bible verse? Oh, maybe because you're a Satanist. You can't quote any Bible verses. Aha. See, the thing about Satanism and the demon rat party is true Satanists can never trick you into doing wrong. They gotta tell you doing wrong right to your face. And when you fact check them or you don't fact check them and you know that they're lying to your, when they're telling you something and they're being blatantly demonic to your face, they can't trick you. It's all about karmic retribution. They can't trick you into eating the poison apple. They gotta tell you the apple's poisonous. That way, when you eat it, you did it to yourself. So when they tell you not to vote or not to support a political party or not be involved in your country's well-being because of the Bible and you know it's not in the Bible, that's just them telling you, don't make the country better and, basically karmic retribution right to your face. Smash that like and subscribe button. Latinos for Trump. Hell yeah. Make America great again. Karmic retribution. It's all about the demonic party. When they kill those babies in abortion, you know it's immorally wrong. They're not tricking you. So when you kill that baby, you know it's immoral. And then when you do it, Brandon, you don't have a Bible verse for me. That's very interesting. You want to tell me what the Bible says, but you don't got a verse for me. Seems pretty demonic to me. You don't know the Bible too well, Brandon. That's unfortunate, man. You're finding it? It's been some times now. Everything is demonic when it is killing babies and innocent people and praising the death and the destruction of it. Make America great again by returning the faith. 2 facts. First fact is that the Democrat Party has once again, the polls are out. They've lost millions of new voters. They've lost millions of new... Cody Goodwin? Is that Goodman? Is that my friend from high school in there? First fact is that, I don't even know what you're saying, Cody. I don't even know if that's the Cody I know. But the first fact is that the Democrat Party has been losing millions and millions of voters since the Charlie Kirk situation. The polling is out. The Democrat Party was already at 40-year lows a month before the Charlie Kirk situation, and now they are being decimated. These polls have stated they have zero chance in the midterm elections. Zero chance. Zero chance. It's all because they want to celebrate death and destruction. And the second statistic is more and more people are returning to Jesus in record numbers. More and more people in the country are returning to Christianity than ever before in the United States. You know, we were losing a lot of Christians, we were losing a lot of people in the country to, atheism. Now people are returning to Christ. People are returning to Christ in America. And you know what? Because they saw a man assassinated live on television, live on TikTok, live on Twitter, live on Instagram, and they saw a party of Democrats, of Democrats, millions of them, news anchors, celebrities, random Joe Schmoes all over the internet celebrating an innocent Christian father who did stuff for millions of people, who hired over 1,000 employees. That means he's fed over 1,000 families. He's hired thousands of people. And they saw the demon rat party praise the death of an innocent Christian man because they didn't like what he said. And they want to stick, these bullshit labels on him and say, violent speech, hate speech, bigotry, he deserved what happened. That's disgusting. That is truly demonic. I'm glad I get to live through President Trump's epic comeback. I love my country and I love everything President Trump is doing. Let's check out this verse now that you want to quote it. I'll check out this Matthew 5:17 verse. And then I can explain to you why you were wrong. But I guarantee you, Brandon, you're probably not even... Brandon, are you really a Christian? Are you really a Christian, Brandon? Are you really a Christian, Brandon? Or are you just trying to push a narrative? Do not think I have to come to abolish the law of the prophets. I may not come to abolish them, but fulfill them. What does this have to do with anything about, political parties? Here, let me open it up to verse 20 to see if there's something I can catch. This has nothing to do with political parties. Yeah, this has nothing to do with political parties. Do not think I have come to abolish the law or prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them. For truly, I tell you, until heaven and earth disappear, not the smallest letter, not the least stroke of a pen will by any means disappear from the law until everything is accomplished. Therefore, anyone who sets aside at least one of these commandments and teaches others accordingly will be called to the kingdom. But whoever practices and teaches these commands will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I tell you that unless your righteousness surpasses that of Pharisees or the teachers of law, you certainly will not enter the kingdom of heaven. I do not know what this has to do anything with, political parties and voting. It does not say in the Bible anything about not supporting politics or not supporting, certain political parties or anything bad against voting. Now you're taking me to another Bible verse. This is the last one I'm going to look up. If you're wrong about this, I'm not going to look it up again. Give me one moment and I'll look it up. But the Demon Rat Party is trying to take over America, but they're losing. Let me look up two things really quickly and then I'll get to this. What's the rapture? You don't know what the rapture is? Hold on one second. I have one quick question for Google and then I'll read this. Okay, I'm going to the Bible verse now to figure out exactly what they said. But this man is trying to use the Bible to say, oh, if you believe in if you follow any political party, you're demonic. At the same time, he's a demon rat. He is a demon rat. Most likely. If not, prove me wrong. Once I prove you wrong about this Bible verse, Nephilim 5:19, it says it refers to Genesis 6:4. You said you're using King James Version? Yeah, I cannot find this, to be honest with you, so I don't think you're quoting any actual Bible verses. You think it's on your granddad's Bible. You're just trolling me right now. If you actually want me to spend more time looking into this, I can, but you're going to have to drop a super chat because as far as I'm concerned, this verse is completely non-existent. Nephilim is not a certain section or specific part of the Bible. It's a group of beings mentioned in the Bible. So I don't really know what you mean, Nephilim. That's not like Genesis or anything like that. That's not an actual quote from the Bible. And Matthew, Jesus is talking about out of the law of the Old Testament commandments, not the actual government law. Yeah, well, what I read anyway doesn't even describe what he's talking about. And Nephilim is not a passage in the Bible. Like, he knows nothing about the Bible. Nephilim is not a passage in the Bible. I thought it was very odd when I looked it up, and I've never heard of it before, and I grew up in Christian school. Like, there's no passages with Nephilim. I just knew it was very odd, but maybe I missed something, I thought. I'm not, a biblical scholar, so I wanted to double check. I wanted to see if I could find any research on it whatsoever, and Nephilim is not a passage in the Bible. So just to go back on topic, it's not a passage in the Bible. He's naming shit he's naming verses that don't even exist in the Bible. Now tell me that isn't some demonic things, Brandon. Like, you're literally quoting imaginary, passages in the Bible. Is that in the Satanic Bible or something? Leviticus is one of the most sophisticated, parts of the Bible. So most people talking about it have no idea what they're talking about. You're absolutely right. I mean, how can you continue to criticize me and say, oh, you can't support a political party and be a Christian? At the same time, you're quoting me passages in the Bible that don't even exist. There's no passages named Nephilim in the Bible. So how can you claim to be a Christian, criticize me for my religion, criticize me for supporting a political party? You don't have any, verses to show me. The first verse that I looked up had nothing to do with politics. The second one I looked up was not even a real passage in the Bible. Yet you're claiming to be a Christian and know about the Bible, and you want to criticize another man for his faith? That is demonic activity. That's how I can call you demonic. We do not mistreat. The new liberal Democrat is the new Leviticus. Pin this, Graham. Well, I can't pin a super chat, can I? Comment it again, Burnell, and I'll pin it. I can't pin a super chat, but everyone can see it because it's right here in the corner. It's a $20 super chat. I appreciate you, Burnell. The liberal Democrat is the new Levithian. Pin this, Graham. Someone said Ephesians 6:12, Revelations 13. Human/demon. That's an interesting one. Do you want me to look that up, Jason? Let's look up Ephesians 6:12. Ephesians 6:12. Let's see. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authoritarians, against the cosmic powers over the present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. The spirituals of evil forces is the Democrat Party that wants to kill babies and chop wieners off of 11-year-old boys. That is disgusting. That is demonic. But the way that you're trying to make it seem is, oh, Trump this, I don't like Trump. Well, too bad. Perpetuating hate, I don't like you reading the Bible, I don't like it, please stop. More ugly than a gremlin, huh? Let's see what else you guys are saying. Leviticus on immigration. The only thing they say about immigration is to treat, new people into the country with care and respect. Well, not even with care and respect. They just say treat them well. You sent it through Discord? What did you send in Discord? I don't see anything in Discord. No, I don't see anything in Discord. Where did you send it in Discord? No, I looked it up already. It's like it's a biblical sea monster, something like that. It is pretty ugly and disgusting. No, that not all Democrats are demons. It's the only one that wants to kill babies. And, chop off kids' wieners. If you don't think that's demonic, I think there's a problem. Yeah, I don't see anything in Discord. I think this guy is just blowing smoke up my ass. Like a lot of the liberals and Democrats do. It's all just a distraction. The first thing he tried to give me was, a fake Bible passage. Guys, the Epstein files have been released. Has anyone read the 30,000 pages? Leviathan. Well, sorry about my pronunciation of that. How is Burnell is an hateful man? We're just sick of the bullshit that the liberals are doing. He ain't even hateful. He ain't even hateful. You guys want to call him hateful after you just celebrated a man's death for 2 straight weeks. Don't tell me shit about being fucking hateful. You're still studying your Bible, keep studying it because you don't know what passages are actively in there and what passages aren't in there. You made up some name of some random passage that wasn't even in the Bible. Like, there's no passage in the Bible, there's no scripture called Nephilim. Like, I don't know where you got that from, brother, but please keep reading the Bible, please keep studying, and I will, take a little bit back of my comments back. Maybe you're just young and maybe you just need to, educate a little bit more on the Bible. We're not all, Bible scholars here. The Democrats don't grieve shit. Most of them just celebrate death and destruction. And they want to talk about school shootings because they don't want to talk about a great father that passed away. We all grieved when that happened. I'm not extreme right. Neither is Trump. This is pure bullshit. How dare you? How dare you expose the Demon Rat Party for being demons? How dare you? The Book of Mormon is a religious text of the Latter-day Saint movement. Once again, that's not an actual scripture from the Bible. Please educate before you open your mouth. Hello, we got 2 Brandons in here. I don't think God has a race. He's not a human. I don't think we need a... Revelations 13:3-10. The head was wounded, the world marveled, great things, power, and blasphemy spoken. You're choosing between 2 controlled ops. First off, I think that's kind of, from what I'm understanding, from what you're saying, I think you're using the Bible to justify Charlie Kirk's murder, which is, beyond disgusting. Now, maybe I'm wrong about this, but from what this says right here, I think, it sounds like you're a pretty damn evil Democrat to me. It seems like you are quite exactly what I've been talking about, a demon rat. Did you just use a Bible verse to justify and, talk disgusting about freaking Charlie Kirk's murder? Then what do you mean the head was wounded, the world marveled, great things, power, and blasphemy spoken? What the hell are you trying to do? That is disgusting. That's exactly what you did. You tried to use a small quote from the Bible to, tell me what it means. Tell me what it means to you. Tell me what it means to you. And I don't know what you mean by controlled opposition. Controlled opposition. I read it like 5 times. You're basically referring to him as, speaking blasphemy, and you're referring to his death as great things and power. So I don't really know what other way to... You want me to read the full verse? Okay, I'll read the full verse. But I hope you're not taking it too offensive. It's just like, dude, it's very questionable with things going on. Very questionable. I'm not trying to offend you, man. It was just a question. It was just a question. I'll pull open the verse. And I saw one of his heads, as it were, wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast, and they worshipped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, Who is unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? And then they were given unto a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. Power was given unto him to continue 40 and 2 months, and he opened his mouth and blasphemy against God, to blaspheme in his name and his tablets and them dwellers in heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them, and power was given unto all over kindreds and tongues and nations, and to dwell upon the earth and shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of the life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He will killeth with the sword, and must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Okay, my friend, I'm sorry about what I said previously. I was not trying to, make you out to look a bad guy, but you can understand how I was just talking about Charlie Kirk 2 seconds ago, and the way that you quoted the verse was a little bit different than the King James Version that I'm reading. So if you would have used the King James Version, it would not have sounded as bad. And you're right, his head wasn't wounded, his neck was wounded. So that's another thing that I was wrong about. Man, I'm just checking. You're right, I shouldn't have jumped to conclusions. I apologize. Thank you, Trinity. I'm getting a haircut soon. And who's we? You didn't pay for a haircut? Of course, if I make a mistake, I'm going to say I made a mistake. And the dragon that the Democrats are worshipped, to go back into this passage, and they worship the dragon which gave power unto the beast. The dragon that they're worshiping is the Democrat Party. Now, I will admit, Trump has done wrong things. He has made mistakes. But if you question the Democrat narrative, etc., then there's no wrongdoing in the Democrat Party. Trump's taxes did get released, by the way, but you don't pay attention to stuff anyway, so why does it matter? First off, you have to give me a name of a passage. Second off, if you want me to read anything specific or talk about anything specific, you can drop some super chats. Right, Gear Jammer? That's what I'm saying. Who's mad all the time and has blue hair? Trolls? No, Gear Jammer, you never should be timed out, man. You're a good guy. We are not worshiping Trump, but I mean, it doesn't matter how many times I say this. The demons that worship the Democrat Party will never understand that. We love Trump. I mean, to be fully honest with you, I don't really recall Trump's full thoughts and opinions about abortion. I believe what he said is leave it up to the states. I'm much more right wing and conservative on that issue. And probably in general, I think I might be, a little bit more conservative than Trump. But I think he said leave it up to the states, if that's what you're referring to. I agree, Trinity, I agree. I don't know The Handmaid's Tale, to be honest with you. I'm not too familiar with that. Trump left it to the states and the majority said no. That's right. I have no clue what that comment even means. I have no clue how people equate Trump with Hitler. Lol. History, education, very lacking. College brainwashed most students. Abso-freaking-lutely. Hold on one second. Too many woke people. He could not run in 2028. I mean, if he amends the Constitution just like we did for slavery and women's voting rights and prohibition, yeah, he could run again. You sound insane, Jason. You sound insane. I'll check it out. I'll check it out. You said Numbers 5:16. Now you got my attention. The priest will bring the woman and make her stand before the Lord. He will take some holy water in a clay jar and he will put some dirt on the floor in the holy tent. The priest will make the woman stand before the Lord. That was the verse you were waiting for, right? Of course, man. Much appreciated. I hope you hit the like and subscribe button, guys. Yeah, that was 16. That was 1622, I believe. Oh wait, no, I think that was the wrong verse. Yeah, that was the wrong verse. My apologies. The actual verse is, but Moses and Aaron fell face down and cried out, "O God, the God who gives breath to all living things, will you be angry with the entire assembly when only one man sins?" Was that the verse? Okay, then I did read the right one. You said I did not read 22? But if you have gone astray while married with your husband, and you have made yourself impure by having relations with other men other than your husband, here the priest is to put the woman under a curse. May the Lord cause you to become a curse among your people when he becomes your womb. Miscarry your abominable swell. May this water that brings a curse into your body so that your abominable swells and your womb miscarries. Is that the Bible verse you were talking about? Gear jammer. You made me laugh, Gear jammer. Alright guys, I might hop off here. They're talking about cheating in the verse. Yes, they are. If you guys have any questions, comments, anything you want me to talk about? Yep, and who causes the abortion? The woman. I mean, she makes the decision. I mean, a miscarriage is much different than an abortion. At Graham, before God created the cosmos, archangels, and angels, God created the Leviathan, a ruthless, double-crossed, two-faced creature who would its own for power. I never heard about that really. Maybe I heard about it before when I looked into it. It says it's like a Greek methodical thing. But it's definitely interesting. I'll look into it. I'm going to try to, rapidly educate myself on more and more topics and, eat its own for power. Sounds like the Democrat Party. I want to be looking into some philosophy, some different books, some different things, because I think, listening to philosophers and stuff like that will really help me in my debates and stuff like that. Maybe Burnell can, recommend me some philosophers or some kind of information or some kind of education, self-education things that I can read online, or, I don't know, a YouTube video or something that could educate me on certain things. That would be pretty useful. Because Charlie Kirk was extremely, self-educated, and that has definitely motivated me to, further educate myself on books, topics, and other things like that. Maybe you have a good book, maybe you have a good philosopher to look into. But other than that, I'm going to wait for Burnell's comments on that, if he has any, recommendations. Not Greek mythology, a creature that once existed. I'll definitely check into that. But let me know, guys. Are there any, philosophers? Are there any books? Is there anything really interesting that can be, very what's the word for it? Self-reflective, or good information for debates or discussions? Anything that I can read that would probably improve either my vocabulary, my thought process, or anything for the channel. Peace out, Burnell. Peace out. Have a good one. I'm going to hop off here in a second. I'm taking a screenshot of everything you guys are saying. Okay, that was definitely not a screenshot. Oopsie, oopsie, oopsie. Is it working now? Can you guys hear me? Okay, apparently that's apparently screenshot for whatever reason isn't working. That's interesting, but definitely gonna check out Thomas Sowell. That's awesome, May. Jordan Peterson, he's a smart fella. I'm not gonna discredit his intelligence, but he's a little bit over emotional. I've seen him cry, multiple times. But he's pretty good, but I don't know. I'm definitely gonna check out Thomas Sowell though. I appreciate that. Who recommended that? Oh, that was Snuffles. I'm gonna check that out. Trump is the swamp? I don't think so. Any final questions, comments, anything you guys want to say? I'll give you 30 seconds. You can just ask them down below. If they're good, I'll answer them. Or you can drop a super chat. And if you want to support the channel, you can join the YouTube membership. Don't judge as you will be judged. I'm not a perfect human being. Human sin. Thank you, Trinity. You should join the Discord so we can talk one-on-one. I know about living life with a purpose, but I'll check them out too. The books are classics? Okay, I'll check out his book list. What's my Discord? It's the link in my bio. You just go into the links. You click on, you just click on your own travel. You go to links. The first one is the Discord link. I can call a demon out for being evil if I choose. Thank you, Kev. What a sad 2 weeks, yeah. Thank you, Trinity. I'm gonna hop off here in Tank, but I fully recommend you to join the Discord in Tank. Demons are definitely real, I agree. Alright guys, peace out. Have a good evening. Oh, you're in there at times? What's your Discord name? And just message me on Discord in Tank. I'm not sure which name is yours. God bless you. Peace out. Peace.